Financial disclaimer. The information provided in this stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional financial or investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the content presented here is based on our personal opinions and experiences. Investing in stocks and other financial instruments involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. Any investment decisions you make are solely your own responsibility, and you should conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment choices. The content we share on this stream may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Market conditions and financial regulations can change rapidly, and we cannot guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information presented. We do not endorse or promote any specific stocks, companies, or investment strategies. Any actions you take based on the content of this stream are at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses or damages that may occur as a result. Always remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and no investment is guaranteed to be profitable. Make informed decisions and consider your risk tolerance before investing any funds. By accessing and using this stream, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any investment decisions you make as a result of the content presented. You are encouraged to seek advice from qualified financial professionals for personalized guidance. Please invest responsibly and only with money you can afford to lose.
Hey man, just found the next guaranteed multi-bagger.
Hey man, you found another one? What is it this time?
Come check this out.
Okay, next please. How can I help you, young man?
We want to go all in on YHC. We love a reverse split bonanza and, well, we like to drink.
Well, that's fantastic. A really smart decision, young man. We can put that check and it's gone.
Johnny, welcome. How's the mic sit?
Thank you. Today I'm headset Johnny.
Headset Johnny, nice. Yeah, sorry guys, it took a while to get started. We had a couple mic issues on Johnny's side and kind of threw us off here. So we're gonna do a short stream today. It's not Mother's Day there, is it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is. All right. Yeah. Well, it's Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day. If your country's celebrating it today or whatnot. So to all the moms out there. So we'll do a quick stream. That way we can spend the rest of the day with the moms.
For sure.
But yeah, overall the markets was like kind of a good week in terms of we weren't crashing, so yeah. That's good. So did you make any moves this week?
Yeah, I actually done. I was almost saying a few things, but I've been lucky with my SSRM that I've been in for a long time, and I took a new position in SEZL. SEZL, which has worked out very good so far for me. I got to move my stop out to break even already, so on the first day. So might be a mistake to stay in it for over the weekend, but I think it has some momentum and it crushed on the earnings. So I just decided to stay with it. And right now, if my stop triggers where I've set it, it's going to be a break even trade for me at the worst case, you know.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty strong here, and this pretty good volume even on the second day here.
Yeah, it's very good volume, and if you look at the earnings, they surprised on the estimates with almost 400% on the EPS. So
yeah, 296 was that the most recent one?
Yeah, they crushed it.
Nice.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, it was on my list of breakouts. I didn't take any breakouts this week. I did reopen a position in USEG. But USEG's earnings is on Monday in the morning, which I'm not necessarily anticipating a great earnings. So I've bumped the position up to 6% actually, because I did want to kind of get into it. There's a chance it's okay. I mean, maybe they'll give better guidance in terms of the helium business. So I also didn't want to be in late, because if it starts to climb, I wanted to start my position at least down here. But I'm not super confident that it's going to be a great earnings, just because they've slowly been winding down the gas part of the business, and that's definitely taken a hit in terms of their revenues. So I expect kind of like a break even, you know, almost, and that's why I only took I got the position up to 6%. I think I want to do like somewhere between 10 and 15% and hold it there. So if it does go down after this, I wanted to be able to take the rest of the position down. And then from there, wherever I get to like a full size position, I'm going to set my stop loss at 10% on that. And hopefully it will work out. But in terms of trades, I do have to work on my market rating here. I still find that this is way too heavily, which I made this dumb equation up here, which is basically just taking averages of all these things. But I still made it too heavy in terms of just the numbers and not really focusing on the actual breakout percentage working. So I want to adjust this column here for my market rating. Like for instance, this column here where it was such a high rating, that's only because there's so many stocks that were up that day. And that's not really indicative of what I want in terms of like what's a good day. Because like for here, like you can see this last week, breakouts were definitely working. I mean, Monday was the only day that wasn't strong, but then 8, 7, 4, and 13, which, you know, since I've been recording, was more similar to what it used to be, you know, at the end of last year when swing trading was working really well. You saw on, or I saw on Wednesday, 7 of the breakouts that had occurred on this, the second, on that Friday, 7 of those had worked out. So the odds now are really starting to get into your favor if you're really focusing on strong breakouts, that they will continue to hold. And the amount of actual failed breakouts is pretty low, just a couple. Now, it's not to say that these numbers are always perfect, because it's kind of hard at the end of the day to always go through and find exactly what, you know, was too high and pulled back and things like that. But the idea is more just to get the averages in your mind to see where we are in the market. So based on what I seen this last week, I was watching. Now, it was a busy week for me, so I really didn't get a chance to really sit and watch anything too close. So I didn't take any positions, but you could have definitely started swing trading this week. And then the numbers are starting to show it. Now, not every day is perfect, but and obviously it all depends on this macro backdrop. I know the US and UK reached a trade deal, but there's also been, I mean, there's some bigger things going on in the world now. We got Pakistan and India, and they're still trying to work on a ceasefire with Russia and Ukraine. So all these things are going to factor in. But overall, I mean, you can see, you know, on my 1 month, like all these metrics, like we're starting to climb up from lows. So, you know, this whole section here, this warned you that the whole market was down and there was no breakouts going on. And now you're starting to see we're getting back into a territory where things are starting to reach all-time highs. If you look at the 52-week high, this number also really stood out to me. We had 130 stocks that now are at 52-week highs. I mean, that's out of a pretty large universe. But my point being is that number is climbing. So it just shows that we're starting to see some strength, at least on the buy side for everything.
I think you can use all kinds of, like we have started to post these screenshots of these sheets and my score sheet also in the Discord, right, Dane? So we're trying to, you know, provide everyone that follows the channel with the same information that we have, and you can complement this information with other things. Like I'm watching, like, you know, in TradingView, different graphs and different, you know, different kinds of things that we have showed on the stream as well. But so you need to put a picture together, but we are trying to give you the information that we sit on as well. So I'm just encouraged a bit to see things turning a bit green now, and I think I've been having a little bit more time than you have this week to actually sit down and watch, and I've seen more stuff on the lists. My watch list has grown this past 1.5 weeks. Not saying that things look super interesting. It's just like more things are fitting the criteria that we look for, you know. And I think that together with you have seen some pretty strong earnings this earnings period, where a lot of companies are killing it, you know. So the environment. Okay, maybe who knows will happen? Like tomorrow, Trump can come out and things can change pretty drastic. But right now, we just have to comment on what we see, and things could turn here a little bit. And I've also seen on some of the charts like some pretty big volume spikes, right?
Yeah. No,
In
I
the-
mean,
in-
if I pull up, hold on here. I just want to go back to what was like these are the stocks I was looking at in terms of breakouts, which you know, some of these are definitely showing stronger volume in terms of just in the past recent few days. So or at least week or so.
yeah.
So yeah, all these are showing pretty strong spikes and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen the same, and I've also done a little bit more research on like funds and their buying, and there's a lot of new positions now that I've noticed. I even post some in POWW in the Discord. I'm not sure, that in my opinion that I first posted it and then it would have worked as a swing trade, but I didn't take it then because of the environment we were in. That's like 1 week or so ago, a bit more maybe. But that one worked out anyways, and there's been some funds buying up a lot there. So you see some institutional buying as well now. So yeah, maybe the bottom has been here and we are on the way up now. But let's see. We just have to wait and see, right?
Yeah. And kind of the same trends when I'm looking at my dash here. Mining's doing well. I did see I had the chart up for natural gas. It was up 5.5%, almost 6, which also is good for USEG. So we'll see if that. We'll see if that. I know it's a little late for it to be. If anything, there was a drop off this last quarter, so that might affect things, not in a positive way, but. But like, you know, on my insider tab here, it looks like pretty strong insider buying. I mean, compared to the week before, it's like, I don't know, probably at least 3 times as many insider purchases going on. So,
and Dane, if you can pull up like just to show everyone some examples, if you can pull out OLO on the charts. Just look at that volume.
No, I know. I was just this was on one of my list as breakouts. And,
yeah. And if you also do AEVA, AEVA.
Yeah.
Look at all that volume since 17th of March. You know.
Yeah. No, stuff is coming in. There's definitely names, like I said, and a lot of it is just me being in the right spot at the right time to be able to hop into some of these things. Which, like I said, this last week was just a tough week for me, so I didn't really get a chance.
Yeah.
But like I said, also too, I figured I kind of just am letting the markets take their time to kind of show strength in themselves. You know, we'll see other people start to get in. And if I miss the first week or so, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna kill me because I don't want to also like jump the gun and get all excited and think we're, you know, finally into a good period here. And then, like you said, something in the macro changes and it all kind of collapses. So,
yeah,
trying to be somewhat conservative with the capital, but I definitely am going to be watching going forward. I think we are out of at least the hole, and I don't know how long it will last, but it looks like we might head into a little bit of a period where buying's back in, and like you said, as we head into earnings season and people are doing well, you'll start to see these names break out. Probably a lot of EPs type, you know, investing will work, or trading for that matter.
yeah.
And then if you've been buying value and whatnot, this is where you might start to see some of your returns come back to you. This is where you might start to see some strength come into some of the names that sold off pretty heavy in this last few months. So
yeah, which is a lot of tickers.
Yeah, there's a lot of tickers. I mean, it was one of the first times, you know, in a long time for value that you're actually able to find quite a few things. You know, I mean, you got to still look through no matter what, but that you could get into some stuff and.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're on the up. We'll see. I also think just it seems like in general, you know, Trump's kind of pulled back on a lot of these tariffs. I think he still wants to stick with it, but he seems like he's kind of showed like the max in terms of how much he's willing to go. And I think from here, like that was the worst case scenario, and you know he's pulling back just little bits here and there to not crash things and just kind of keep the pressure on. That's what I read from him. So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah. A big point that you touched upon in the beginning here is like, unfortunately, there has been another war breaking out, and I'm not sure if everyone has understood the consequences that potentially can have still, because it's fairly new, but hopefully they will figure out how to make a solution there quickly.
Yeah, I thought I read there was a ceasefire. So I mean,
yeah, but I think they didn't respect it. So let's see.
Yeah, I mean, obviously those are two countries we do not want to go to war. So
yeah,
for the whole, and it's sad that war even is a problem.
Yeah,
those are two countries I really don't think need to get involved with each other.
Yeah, I it's just a lot of crazy, and of course there's many wars going on at any given time in the world, but these are the ones that sticks out for us in terms of the market, but also in general. Of course, everyone wants peace, so it's just watching from the sidelines. It just seems very unnecessary.
Yeah. And then, like I said, I only took USEG this week, so that's the only position, which, like I said, is just around 6%. I was able to get in a little bit on some days when USEG would drop down. I would just throw in a decent bid size at a low bid, and twice it took. So I'm up a little bit on the position, which has brought the portfolio up a smidge this week, but nothing crazy, like 0.5%. So nothing really to say about it, but my cost basis, I think, is like, I don't know, like 119 or 110 or something like that. So we'll see from here. And like I said, when earnings come out, if it isn't great and it drops it, I'll probably wait to see where that kind of bottoms out, and then I will take the rest of my position there. And then my goal is to set a stop loss at 10% from that point. And then And then, like I said, I think the goal would be for this one this is a play that's going to last well into 2026. So this will kind of be a long-term hold for me. And then from there, I mean, if other value shows up, I love having everybody in here. Anybody who throws us tickers, I really appreciate it, because it's ways for me to kind of, with my limited time, hone in on some of the companies that might have more promise, because, it's nice to see other people have put work into it. I like how people throw us tickers and they don't really tell us they're bullish or not. We're just, hey, look at this, and that way I can kind of decide from there. I appreciate that. And then, as swing trading opens back up, I'll probably start this next week with 5% positions again. I usually do 10% in a strong market, just to amplify the returns. And we'll start with 5 and see how that goes. And if that's all good, then we can bump up to 10 and start to try and make some cash again here. And who knows, the rest of the year, I mean, even if we trade sideways is honestly okay for breakouts. I mean, there's always companies in a sideways market that are breaking out.
Yeah, and as long as these earnings comes in strong, you will find stocks to jump in on,
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how it feels in your country, but so far, since with all the tariffs and stuff, I haven't really seen prices do anything crazy. I know people have like over ordered and everything like that, and that will start to be affected at some point. So I'm not saying that, I'm not being blind to the fact that right now it's just that these things take time to actually play into the prices of things. But as of right now, everyone's still kind of living the normal, like no one's changed anything here. We're still buying and doing everything that we've been doing this whole time. So
it's the same here. I think the first time I felt the effect of it was yesterday. I tried to buy a book, and it was like $100 for a book. Wow. That usually costs like 30. So I didn't buy it, but I found another website that sold the same book for $30. So I just purchased from there instead.
Yeah, and you might have to just kind of be savvy with things. Like, there's going to be certain places where you used to go to buy things, and if they're really affected by where they buy from, yeah, you might have to look elsewhere. But I made a few purchases this past week, and I feel like all the prices have been reasonable. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Um,
I know Value Hunter in the Discord. He sent us a list of some tickers, and I also were posting in Discord about the UAMI, Dane, our favorite stock.
Sorry, which one? I have a screaming child. If you guys can hear it,
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. It's hard to hear here.
UAMI.
Oh, UAMI. Yeah. Of course. The stupid stock. I hate this stock sometimes. Although I mean, for anybody who it's worked out for, great, and it always looks like it's going to be a decent trade.
Yeah, which was the case now again. It turned on us. So let's see where this one goes. I don't like that the reversal, and it came from a bad earnings report. But this one also had some decent volume on the move up here. So let's see if we can maybe consolidate a bit, and we can revisit it.
Yeah.
And Value also wrote about QBTS, which is a strong quantum name, right?
Yeah, and I'm kind of annoyed with myself because the one day that it really jumped was that, I don't remember what day it was.
That was Thursday on earnings.
I had looked at it the day before,
Yeah.
and I was like, just to the constriction of volume and everything like that, and everything looked like it had consolidated here. I was thinking of watching it, and by the time I looked the next day, it was up like a crazy amount, and I was like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
But
and now the market cap is about 3 billion on it. So, but this one can run, I think, if it, this
yeah,
is all in a
said,
new territory.
Yeah, it could. The only thing with it, we know all these quantum names. No one's gotten quantum chips to really perform how we want yet, and we know we're a few years out from that. So these are definitely speculative, and it's a very competitive environment because everybody wants to have the first working quantum computer. And not that there isn't working quantum computers, but to the level that it can process like a massive amount of information that has a ton of qubits in it. Because I know they're shooting for tens of thousands of qubits, hundreds of thousands of qubits, but the problem is just the actual physics of getting one of those chips to work. So
yeah,
we'll see. There's a lot of names in the quantum space.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is I think if a few of these starts to move, and stocks like NVIDIA and stuff like that also moves a bit higher, you will see all of them move, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's like the entire group will move up, I think. And but which one was it again? QBTS, right? Yeah, that it does look good on a setup,
Yeah. Qubit. This is another one. That trends to move with this, and it had some strong volume, but didn't move nearly as much. A little bit smaller market cap. So this is one to watch because it tends to follow close with the other ones.
Yeah, and I also like QMCO, which is perhaps one of the more tiny ones, but the chart looks identical, right?
Yeah, to be honest, you're right. That's why I just started looking at some of these names because they all tend to kind of ebb and flow in the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other ones that aren't with a Q, and I'm trying to remember what all the names were because last year there was this huge spike up in November, and I remember all of these were good picks.
Yeah, Sound.
Yeah, Sound's another one. That's true.
KULR.
Oh, cool.
It's just a lot. Yeah, it's just a lot of them.
Yeah, and honestly, you're right. Every one of these charts look identical.
Yeah, they look very identical. So, but QBTS looks a bit different to all the ones we went through now because of the earnings report they just had. So this is probably the one that has momentum right now.
Yeah, and also where all the other ones had that huge run up in November and December, and then they pulled back. This pulled back, but also in March jumped, and has shown more strength than the other ones, which is one of the things that, Minervini and all these other guys talk about is, you compare, all these companies in the same sector, and you look at the chart, one way that makes it easily stand out is one like this that just isn't following the grain and you know something's different about this company, it's a great way to even find value, to dig into these things, or growth even. It depends on whatever side you're looking at. But
Yeah. And both of those spikes in March and now are after earnings report. So there's something the management there does probably a bit better than the other ones in terms of communicating or delivering or something, you know.
True.
And then you see the volume comes in massively too. So let's see how this coming week will look for QBTS.
Yeah, what do you think? SSRM, I thought on Friday looked like a potential breakout candidate.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised to see it move up, but I think it moved up on the great earnings report, because the day after the earnings report, or a couple of days after, it started to fall. And I've been looking at the gold charts also, and I must say I haven't been very confident. I think maybe gold has reached a top, but that's dangerous to say.
Right.
But I need to just monitor it, and I will change my mind very quickly if I see it continues to move upwards, you know. But
Yeah,
I
well,
saw a few signs. I posted about it in the Discord that I didn't like on, you know, the gold ETFs and the futures. But SSRM moved in the opposite direction anyways, and right now, like you said on Friday, this looks very strong in my opinion.
Yeah, and I thought, the real bear argument with SSRM is the Kopler mine, which I know it might still be a while before that gets up, but that's, from what the arguments I all heard, is it's a smaller amount, and even if they're going to perform like this without the Kopler mine, it looks good. And if they get that up and running, even better. So, like you said, as of now, it's definitely a bullish time for gold. We'll see if gold's able to push any higher. If it is, then obviously this will climb. But I think you're right. We're at that point now where we're at kind of the next trend. We'll see how much higher this can go. I think it could possibly break out one more time higher than this.
Yeah, and if it does, I think I will take my profits.
I agree. I think this next breakout, if it occurs, would be the next. I don't see it getting much higher than that. Just all the numbers don't make sense there. I mean, we're at a PE of 30 right now, almost.
Yeah. And I know I've said, like, I want to wait for the Turkey situation to materialize, but if it reaches a certain price before that, I think I will be happy with. I'm already happy with my trade or my investing here, but everything has a reasonable price where even if the thesis has not played out like I expected or hoped for, I will probably at least trim the position.
Right.
I'm considering it to do it here even, but what changed, and I was about to do it, but what changed my mind was Friday, because on my chart I also have the RS line, and right now it's in a new top on stronger RS or relative strength, plus on volume, and that's all coming after a good earnings report. So you just have everything that you look for right now.
Yeah. And volume's been pretty consistent, and it's been really strong this whole last week. So
yeah.
I mean, the only day that was selling, I think that was people doing almost what you said. These guys have been holding for a while, and they were just trimming the position. And then the next day there was still a bunch of buyers that came in. So
I think this has already worked out great for me. And I think, like you said also, I've been reading the last few transcripts, and it seems like they are just building the business to a point where if things doesn't go as they want in Turkey, they will still stand on strong legs, and yes, I'm sure you will see a drastic dip in price if that news come out that they're not going to proceed with the work in Turkey. But I think after that dip, it will quickly move up again because everything else here now is looking so strong.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I do apologize because I don't want to stay on too long just because it's Mother's Day. Go spend time
Yeah,
with your
yeah.
wife. But one last point I just wanted to bring up is if you're looking at the indexes right now,
Yeah.
I would argue it looks like we're slowly consolidating here, and I think we're going to run sideways for a little bit. But then you might even be able to see on one of these charts a breakout or breakdown kind of setup occur. I talked about this a little bit in the Discord, and if we can break out here, everything's back on, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I posted a few days ago also in the Discord the chart I have that shows stocks above 50-day average, and right now that starts to look pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
So, but let's see. We just have to go day by day.
Yeah, and if it was to break out from here, we'll see how much it can push past the 200-day moving average. If it pushes through there, I think everyone's back to just like, you know, the markets as they've been for the past, I don't even know how long. It seems like forever.
Yeah.
Besides the 22, when things actually pull back. But yeah. Yeah, guys, I didn't like pull up any tickers, but like I said, I mean, there's stuff going on. You can find stuff. You know, there's tons of stuff that's daily movers. And a lot of these names I've looked are even setting up nicely too. Like almost half, I mean, not half, but a ton of these names as I'm scrolling through just with my eyes are already on my breakout list. Like I said, insider buying looks strong. There is still like a chunk of like losers though. So, I mean, it's not like everything's like, you know, great, but you know, this is all the same stuff that it normally is. There's a ton of biotech in here and, you know, those are always going to be up and down.
Yeah.
But when we look at like this is the daily losers,
there's a lot of them too. So I think that you need to still be careful out there.
yeah, no, it's not like we're out of the weeds yet. It's just that you know, and look at my dashboard. I mean, there's literally no red, which means that nothing was really getting hit this last week here. You know, Bitcoin, is this right? It's at 104 now.
Oh, really? Yeah, because Ethereum was strong too. Yeah, it is 103.
I mean, Bitcoin looks like it's about to break out.
Yeah, and Bitcoin has, whether you like it or not, it has followed the market pretty good, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we are on low volume here. We're consolidated. Let me just pull up some lines here. Well, we're above all the lines, so the lines don't matter. But it looks.
This looks good, actually.
It looks pretty good here. If I was just from a swing trading perspective, or like breakouts, but it looks good.
There's a lot of buying volume, but it's not above the. I'm using 50-day average now on the daily volume on my volume chart, but if you get some higher volume here, this looks really strong, which you will get on a breakout.
Just looking at, are these all following the same trend?
Which is a bit crazy, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
Ethereum had a big pop this week. I never read why, but that looked very good.
Oh, interesting chart though compared to the others.
Yeah. That looks more like one of the stocks that we could do research on, you know. Bitcoin looks...
I'm surprised it sold off so much compared to the other ones.
Yeah. And if you go to the weekly, you know, on Bitcoin, that looks like it's about to to go.
I'm just trying to get back to Bitcoin here. Oh my gosh, there's so many Bitcoins now. Just want the US dollar.
There you go. That looks good.
Yeah, weekly looks great.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else to add there?
No, just apologies for my stupid microphone. I need to buy a new one. So the stream was a bit shorter today, but at least we were a bit more active also in the Discord this week, I think, and I think we will try to keep posting those screenshots of the sheets.
Yep.
To just have everything updated.
All right. Well, everyone have a nice Mother's Day. Johnny, have a good one. Let me know when you get that new mic.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. You too.
Yeah, and then it'll be an interesting week. I hope we continue to see some strength here, or like I said, at least we can move sideways because it opens everything back up to start making some trades. So, hoping
will be
USEG
good.
has at least good guidance. That's really what I want to see on Monday from USEG.
Yeah.
I could really care less about this current earnings. I more want to just see what they're if they stay on track. If everything sounds like time wise, it's all going to be on track to what they've said in the past. Which I think it's two plant, or the plant is going to be sometime like next year essentially, but the 2 wells will be drilled this year, possibly 4 by the end of the year and into next year. And then from there, we can start to get real numbers on the helium production and other gases, because that's the other thing too is, helium's the main product they're looking for, but there's other gases that they're going to get too. There is markets for these things. So there's possible other avenues.
Is it after close on
No,
Monday?
it's before open. So early Monday we'll know.
All right.
Yeah, you can tune into the earnings report and stuff. Like if you go on the website, I think it says just go on like 15 minutes before if you want to actually watch or listen to the earnings report too, or the conference call.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Hopefully they will have some good guidance.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Everyone enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll are you going to be on next week?
Yeah, I need to buy my microphone.
I should be able to be on next weekend. So we will see everybody then. Everyone have a good one.
Yeah.